How's it going, everyone? Hi, Jump here. I'd like to welcome you today to the first video in my 1 year anniversary series, looking back on my time streaming, all the events that I went to, a bunch of different highlights that I wanted to be able to share with you. Hopefully, I was actually planning on getting these videos out, after the events, but due to some issues with my hard drive dying and other things that came up, I just wasn't able to do that. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to share all the fun stuff that I did this year with you. So up first is PAX East. That takes place in Boston, and honestly, this is my first time going to PAX East. Just a little bit of history for you. There's PAX is Penny Arcade Expo, and there are four. I guess now there's going to be five, but this one, there's the PAX Prime in Seattle, East in Boston, South in San Antonio, us in Melbourne, Australia, and now I think there's Unplugged in Philadelphia. But like I said, this is my first time going to PAX East, so this is a whole new experience. While I do have some friends and other Enforcer friends from the East Coast, so they've actually been to the event before, I've always heard good things about it, but each PAX has their own feel. South has a way more indie vibe because it's a newer one. I haven't been to Australia yet, so I can't really attest to how those work. But Prime or West, it's Prime. It's definitely Prime. It's definitely Prime feels way more like, not to say like high end, but it feels like they kind of like the vendors, the exhibitors. I feel like they go all out in that situation. And East was pretty cool. East had definitely a different vibe to it. I wouldn't say that like they necessarily like went all out. There's definitely some people that did. While I guess like the same brands that you see at every single one, it felt like some of them had like smaller booths, or I guess I'm not sure if it's just an awkward timing when the event is. It's kind of hard to necessarily know why it. I haven't really been able to pin down why it feels different, but it definitely had a different vibe. But this is the first PAX I'm also going to as a streamer, so my whole goal was to also be able to network, to be able to market my stream, to in addition to seeing all the fun games, what everything had to offer, and actually working the event as an enforcer. So that's a whole nother thing. But honestly, if I had to compare the two, or choose between the PAXs I go to, I would probably actually rank Prime at the top. Then I'd say South, but I haven't been to the recent one. I went to the very first one, so I'm not sure how that's changed, and then East. But it's a really close thing. And just because I'm ranking them, that doesn't mean that there's a bad one. There's not a bad PAX in my opinion. It's definitely. I've had a lot. I always feel like rejuvenated and. How do I put this? Like, I feel a lot better after coming back from PAX. It's always so much fun, and then just immediately drained afterwards. It's just like, what's the next one? So in this video, I want to be able to show off some like the cool sites that I saw. Saw some cosplay, saw a ton of awesome games. Number one on my list is definitely Pyre, which is the next game from Supergiant Games, the creators of Transistor and Bastion. And if you've been watching my stream at all, you know that Transistor has a very special place in my heart. What else do we get to see? I gotta get my hands on Pit People, which is the new game from Behemoth. So much fun. I always love the way they do their booths up. They tend to go like kind of big on it, and they definitely look to not only make you laugh with their games, but also make you think in different ways. They try to do like stealth comedy, but make you think about problems in different ways, and it's always loads of fun to play their games. I also got to see a really cool Doom booth, and I love the most recent Doom. Like the most recent iteration of Doom is so much fun. So getting to see a giant Revenant, a scale-sized BFG, oh man, it's just so cool. I also did a review on the pins that I got, and so it's super fun. Like I love collecting the pins from PAX, though I've kind of dialed it back recently. It's always something that I look to collect when I go to these events. And of course, finally, one of the main highlights is I really want to take this time to thank AMD. They gave me, like, when I go around marketing at these events, it's I realizing at the time when I went to this, I think I had 17 followers and a couple hundred views. I was mainly streaming Gigantic and a bit of Dota, I think, were the main things that I was streaming. And kind of like I mainly like when I went around marketing, I want to see what do vendors look for, what do what do like different game companies look for when they're working with streamers, because it's honestly, as much as I can talk to someone else and find that out, it's much better for me to, like, I'm a people person. I'm able to talk to people, get to know them, really understand kind of like the things that they look for. It's when my stream is X big, then come talk to us, sort of thing. And so getting the lay of the land. And I talked to AMD, and I was just like, hey, I'm just curious as to this sort of thing. And they gave me a processor to give away. They just like talking to my contacts there, and they're just like, yeah, do you want a processor to give away? And as someone who's like just starting out, it was PAX East really set me up for where I am today, and it's a really big special thanks to AMD for allowing me to kind of show off what I can do when given the chance. And so that's one of the reasons why PAX East 2016, it means a lot. Not only is my first PAX East, but my first trip to Boston, just so much. It was very rewarding to be able to actually be able to, I guess I felt successful with this. And so I'm getting to nerd out a little bit, but without further ado, I want to show you guys a bit of the walkthrough I did of PAX East, all the fun that can be had. There's tons of games. BYOC area for bring your computer, tabletop, panels, everything. While I don't have a whole lot of footage, I learned a lot about what I want, and that's the best part about editing right now, is that I know what I want to bring you guys in this coming year's events. Starting with PDX LAN coming up next week, but without further ado. you everyone. That was our quick walkthrough of PAX East. I learned a lot. I had so much fun. Between working the event from after the main event closed and whatnot, and kind of walking around and getting to know everyone, I didn't get as much time. I really, really love how every year Uber and partners with a game or a recent picture. Like I think last year at PAX Prime, or 2 PAX Primes ago, they did a Mad Max theme, and this last one they did Final Fantasy 15. And so seeing them do Overwatch cars was so cool, and be able to actually go up and see them as opposed to hoping to see them drive by outside the event. Super fun. I wish I had a little bit more time to be able to dive into Doom while I was there, but I got to play a ton of fun games. I got to see a lot of indie games, and still, honestly, I think my favorite of the show has to be Pyre. I cannot express how excited I am to see what Supergiant does with that game next. Coming up next in our video series is going to be my trip to DreamHack Austin, as well as a bonus video that will be coming with that, because I think the main event is going to be a little bit of a shorter video, but we have a much longer video coming after that. It's going to be a little bit of a surprise. It's taken me a while to be able to get permission to be able to put that one up, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't infringing on anything there. But thank you all for watching, and make sure you check out the next vid. Let me know what you all think about PAX, what sort of things you'd like to see in the videos in the future. If you've been to PAX, let me know of some of your favorite memories, some of the games that you might have played at PAX East. And make sure you like and subscribe, and check back for the next video.